Hi guys, it's Micah. I'm back with the AAA cards challenges. It's number 234 and the theme is circles. And you can see by the game badge I went to look for some images that have circles. And I went with the bubbles or gumballs. I made them before as gumballs, so I thought I'd maybe try and make them into bubbles. And for that I'm using a stencil sheet that I die cut circles in. And I lost 2 die cuts. I heard one drop. I found one circle, the smallest, but the second smallest still missing in action, but that's okay. I did try it yesterday with my normal colors, so stuff like picked raspberry and peacock feathers. It was too dark, and my brushes are very saturated, as you can see. I try to take some off all the scrap paper that ink come off. I also used finger daubers and I think it got all muddy. And if you need to see it, you just pause and go back. It's a very long video and I sped up the ink blending. But basically what I'm doing is putting ink on my ink blending brushes and pull it in from the outside where there's the plastic, and then I clean off the plastic. And I'm trying to keep the circle in the middle empty from color. And you can see that blue was too wet and it smudged. Even though I did the same technique. Now to be sure, I am going to tape off the edges. When I was die cutting these, I tried to stay away from each other, so I have enough room to ink blend without, smudges. But just to be sure from the outside. You can use any colors. You can do modern chrome if you want. You can do them solid, like gumballs. But then I wouldn't overlap them because gumballs are not see-through, solid. But you could pretend they are marbles or crystal balls, stuff like that. And I'm trying to use the same colors of the dressings, like squeezed lemonade, tumble glass, and a little bit of that blue that's left on my brush for the edges, and Kitsch Flamingo and Twisted Citron. Shaded Lilac, I'm not sure I used it even. Oh yeah, I did, but look, there's so much ink on my brush there that it's more Villainious Poison now. So I try not to go and make it too dark. And by overlapping them, I look at the colors that work together without getting mud or grey or brown. So you can see the blue and the green and yellow, they just overlap very well. And also the same colors in the palette, of course. And I try to go from small to big, or big to small, as I'm blending it, and do an uneven number. So I went for 5 and I detached 1 from the group. But yeah, you can do whatever you want. The first time I saw a stamp that was a bit more mixed media stamp, and I tried to recreate it with stamps that I have, and that's what I was looking for. I don't know what I've done with it. It's missing in action. It's not on the other side of my ink blended panel. They use scraps, of course, to test stuff. See, that was too small for me to leave it empty on the middle. But if you can, it makes it more bubble-like, I think. And you see that one is much more bright and intense, and you can do that too. And you can, die cut circles if you prefer, or use stamps that are circular. And I actually pulled out a sentiment stamp that is circular, but it was a bit too big for me. And I did want to have something that is bold on top, just to make it stand out. But then I thought, no, I'm going with scripty sentiment. See, this is what I want to do. Of course, sometimes the distressings reacts with what's underneath, so you don't get white. And what I'm doing now is gel pen. I was testing it on my scrap. That's a good thing too, because that blob that came out, I don't want that on my card. especially after that. So, as always, it starts today, the AA Cards Challenges. It's a clean and simple challenge. It runs for 13 days or 2 weeks until next Sunday, 2 weeks from now, fortnight. Then we'll start a new one. So Saturday midnight, I think. And it just makes it look shiny. And I think it makes it really look like bubbles when you just add a little bit of white. And if you're really good at it, you can, use a brush and put them in, or mask the little slivers off. And there's a sliver in the die set from the MFT icicles. I'm remembering that just now, actually. That might look like a shiny stuff, like on bubbles. And then you can put them on top and then ink blend, and then you get really crisp white. Well, I didn't think of it just now. I'm doing the voiceover and I forget. Oh, that looks like that nail clippings. I'm trying to straighten out my card base, and it's 300 grams. It's a bit too thick in 2 layers for my guillotine cutter, but I'm trying to make it a little rim. At the AA Cards Challenges, we don't really like too many layers. So 1 matting, it's just fine. Lots of empty space, no splatter, no pattern, minimal embellishment, minimal layers, as I say. Lots of empty space. It doesn't have to be white, but in my case it is. And just empty. And I think this qualifies. There's plenty of space around it. Maybe the big one is too big, but yeah. I don't know. You do you. Just don't cover the whole card base or panel. That's all I'm saying. And I usually do my sentiments in black. And here's that circle one I was talking about. I thought black is too stark. I don't have any other Versamagic, except the red one and a brown one. They don't go with these, do they? So, not sure. There's a grey one. I should look into that. I decided to heat emboss it with WOW embossing powder. So I'm using also WOW stamps. A set that it's called Just Saying. Stamp set 41. And the WOW embossing ink. Wow, there's a theme there. And WOW opaque British Summer regular embossing powder, which is great. And it says British Summer, but it could be could be Dutch as well. Yeah. Of course, I tried to see if it was dry before I stamped this time, and I did have to heat set it a little bit, and I got some warpage. See, British Summer, could be Dutch. I think anywhere on the northern, yeah, well, and just noticed there was a hair, so I was trying to clean it up. I didn't notice the one that's in the Y, but it's fine. I tried to straighten it in my die cutting machine, and I put some paper around it so it doesn't get the imprints from the plates. But then, some of my printer paper got stuck to the happy. It was dry, but I think it got, the pressure. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you will join me. Links to the blog are down below. And I look forward to what you make. I'll see you again soon. Until then, bye.